When I first started studying English, I honestly didn't focus on my pronunciation because I didn't think it was that important. So I spent most of my time learning vocabulary and grammar. But when I actually finally tried to talk to people in English, they couldn't understand me at all. And not only that, I couldn't understand them either. It felt like they were speaking English, but it sounded like a completely different language to me. That was the moment I realized that how important the pronunciation is. From then on, I made pronunciation my top priority because no matter how many words and grammar rules you know, it doesn't matter if people can't understand you. And if you're not used to real sounds of English, you won't be able to understand others either. So today, in this video, I'm going to share how I came to be able to move past my strong Japanese accent and get a clear and natural accent from the time when I was 20 years old. But before we get into the topic, let me announce you one thing. Right now, I'm giving away my English learning roadmap, which shows you the exact step from zero to be fluent. It lays out everything you need to know about learning English in a simple and clear way. It's completely free, and if you want that roadmap, just click the link in the description. All right, so let's get into the main topic. So the very first step when fixing your pronunciation is to decide which accent you want to get and set your priorities. But there's so many different types of accents in the world. But if you're talking about the native English speakers, the main three ones are American, British, and Australian. So you pick the one that you want to get. I personally recommend American English because some people say British English have some sounds that are close to Japanese. It gets really tricky as you go deep into it. So I'm personally trying to get American English, and this is so much easier than British and Australian English. And other reasons why it's easier for you to understand American English is because in school, most of the English that we're taught was American English. So it's already familiar. And if you look at YouTube videos or other learning resources out there, you will see that also most of them are in American English. That's why I recommend American English if you don't have specific preference. All right, the second step is understanding which sounds you're getting wrong and fixing them. Like for Japanese learners, there are certain sounds that are difficult. For example, R sound, TH sound, TR sounds, DR sounds, V sounds, something like that. So these are sounds that many Japanese learners either mispronounce or can't pronounce properly. So fixing them first is crucial. It's almost impossible to fix pronunciation mistakes on your own because the sounds that you think you're making aren't actually what you're pronouncing. So even if you practice for hours by yourself, you might be making the same mistakes over and over again. That's why I recommend 3 ways to identify and correct your pronunciation. So first one, use AI tools and apps to pinpoint the sounds that are not understandable and fix them. Okay, second, pay attention during real conversations. So the last one is record yourself and compare yourself with native English speakers to see where you're off and adjust accordingly. The next step is how sounds connect in real speech. This is very challenging and takes a lot of time, but it's essential if we want to have a clear accent and actually understand native speakers. Even if you pronounce individual words perfectly, English sounds completely different when words are combined in sentences. Actually, I have experience for this. I spent so much time practicing the R sound or like TH sounds or like every single alphabets. I was trying to get them right. But in real conversation, when I was trying to talk to people, I couldn't even understand them at all. And I thought like, are they speaking English? You know, the reason why I couldn't understand them is linking. When words connect, their sounds change. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The only way to master this is not by overthinking rules. It's more like listening to native English speakers over and over again and try to copy them perfectly. And shadowing is one of the methods to repeat native English speakers over and over again, copy them. But I don't personally like shadowing. I do dictation. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I mastered linking. I use the method called dictation. Here's how it works. First, choose the video with native English speakers that matches your level. It could be YouTube or Netflix. Then play one sentence at a time and pause. And repeat what you hear after pausing every sentence. Focus closely on the pronunciation, how words are linked. If it's too fast, slow it down to figure out what's really happening with the sounds. But here's the key. Just understanding alone isn't enough. So copy the native speakers exactly and repeat over and over again. Ideally, your goal is to say it at the same speed and in the same way as speaker, but that can be tough. So aim to repeat the sentence from 20 to 30 times. That's what I did slowly and constantly. And as time goes by, I started realizing that where and how sounds are connected. Yeah, it definitely takes time, but to be honest, there's no shortcut to master linking. So this is the only way. And when it comes to mastering linking, one of the most important things is to learn English in chunks. A common mistake that English learners make is practicing and memorizing each word separately. I think you know how to pronounce each word on its own, but you have to remember the whole sentences and you have to say them as a chunk. Okay, here's my story. I once tried to say this sentence, I will be able to cook in the future. This sentence, when I was homestaying in LA, I was trying to talk to my host family and I said this sentence, but they didn't understand me. Why? Because I wasn't speaking with the English rhythm that native speakers use. The sentence should be more like, I'll be able to cook in the future. I'll be able to cook in the future. So when you say able to, a lot of people say able to, or like able to, I don't know, like something like that. But when native speakers say able to, I'll be able to cook. I'll be able to cook. So this rhythm, there's a rhythm. I'll be able to cook in the future. I'll be able to cook in the future. So this rhythm. So the point is, I was saying the word separately, which didn't match the rhythm that native speakers expect. So if you want to be understood by people, it's crucial to connect words naturally and get used to speaking English in rhythm. Plus, to really master this rhythm, you need to understand which words get stressed and which words don't. The words that are stressed are called content words. These are mainly verbs, adjectives, meaningful adverbs, and most numbers. But the words that are unstressed are called function words. These include prepositions, articles, auxiliary verbs, pronouns, conjunctions, and some numbers. For example, I will go to the park. In this sentence, contents words are verb go and nouns park. Everything else is function verb. So the rhythm goes like this. I'll go to the park after lunch. I'll go to the park after lunch. So go and park and lunch, you can clearly hear the sound, right? If you go faster, if you read faster, I'll go to the park after lunch. You don't really hear will and to and the and after. You don't really hear the sound, right? Okay, this is how it works. Of course, even if you understand this logic, it's hard for you to do when you actually speak out. That's why, as I mentioned before, the only way is to listen to native English speakers and copy them over and over again until it feels natural. Okay, so the next step is mastering tone in English. English is a language where your tone of voice and your face expression can completely change the nuance of sentence, even if the words stay the same. For example, the phrase no thank you. On social media, some people say no thank you. It's kind of rude to say that. So you should use other expressions. But in reality, it's all about how you say it. So with the right face expression and tone of your voice, if you want to genuinely say, I'm good, you can say, oh, no, thank you. Oh, no, thank you. It sounds like you're paying respect to people, right? But when you say like, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. So this face expression shows everything, right? If you say, no, thank you. No, I'm good, thank you. No, thank you. So when you smile and say, no, thank you, it's not rude at all. But if you say like, no, thank you, like if your face is kind of not smiling, or like you sounds like you're boring, it's kind of rude. So it really depends on how you express it. But in Japanese, as you know, word choice is extremely important because the meaning comes across very directly. But in English, face expression and tone plays a big role. So you can use the same phrases in a different situation, depending on how you say it. Okay, finally, this is the last step. Let's talk about the mindset. When you're working harder on pronunciation and intonation, practicing consistently is the key to improve your clear and natural accent. But for many Japanese people, speaking confidently is very hard because they're too much worried about what other people think. I have an experience. When I was 20 years old, I had English class in university, and at the time I was really focusing on pronouncing English and I wanted to improve my English so hard. So whenever I say words in English, I try to be like native English speakers, but my English was garbage at the time. So when I said that, other people think that, oh, he's trying to be cool. Why he's trying to be like American, you know? That's so weird. Okay, for example, spaghetti. I said spaghetti. I tried to say that, but it wasn't clear as like this before, but I was trying to do that. And then everyone was saying spaghetti because they're embarrassed to say that word in a way that native speakers talk. You know, that kind of reaction was very offensive to me. And honestly, it's the part of the problem that Japanese education have. But this is the truth. People who manage to ignore and keep practicing confidently are the ones who end up with a great accent. And everyone who has consistently studied English, they understand you. They're not going to laugh at you because they know how hard it is. You know the term of kaigai kabure, right? I was kaigai kabure too, but kaigai kabure people always get the goal. They have passion. They want to be like a native English speaker. They have passion. That's why they're acting like native speakers. You know, so kaigai kabure is a good thing, but people laugh at you. Maybe you feel fear or embarrassed, but you have to ignore all of that. You ignore all of the noises. You just focus on, just lock in and just do what you have to do. That's the thing. And remember, always, People who laugh at you are the ones that gave up studying English. They couldn't achieve the goal. So they talk shit about you. I've been posting videos on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. I get a lot of hate comments, but these comments are from the one that gave up studying English or they were jealous. Don't care about what other people think. Just believe in yourself, live off your dream, go for it. You gotta be bold, you gotta be confident, just go consistently. But I'm telling you, pronunciation and linking and intonation, these are all the hardest one in language. So important thing is never give up and do it consistently and pay attention to what you have to fix. So take it step by step and you're gonna get it one day. In the end, I have a quick announcement right now. I'm giving away my English learning roadmap, which shows you the exact steps from zero to be fluent. It lays out everything you need to know about English learning in clear and simple way. So if you wanna join, just click the link in the below. I'll send it to you free. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please subscribe and give me a like. And please leave the comments. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next video.